since 1978, when Fiji first answered the call to participate in peacekeeping missions in the Middle East, members of the Fiji military forces have continued to serve with notable distinction through many acts of valor and military skills, combined with a unique charismatic attitude that has earned them the confidence of fellow peacekeepers and winning the hearts and minds of the locals. This week, Nations Business takes you to Fiji's latest UN peacekeeping footprint on the border of Syria and Israel, as we cover His Excellency, the President Ratoipeli Nelatikau's visit to the men and women in the middle.
Presidential salute! Present! Up!
We first arrived to the city of Tiberias, one of the 4 holy cities of Israel. Tiberias is located on the western side of the historic Lake of Galilee. Towards the east stands the basaltic plateau, known as the Golan Heights. Any visitor to Tiberias and Lake Galilee on a normal day like this would disregard the troubles of the Golan Plateau and beyond, as life here remains peaceful. Apart from agriculture, tourism is the backbone of the economy. Thousands of visitors, mainly Christians from all over the world, flock to this part of Israel daily. Many come to sail the Lake of Galilee, where Jesus and His disciples once preached, and visit sites mentioned in the Bible where Jesus performed miracles and conducted His ministry.
La se mulo miglo tis gono no taun ono go sartu ngai kin na polut se gono no mitu ngono.
Up in the Golan Plateau, which is a 45-minute drive from Tiberias, close to the Syrian border, proudly stands the United Nations flag, a symbol of peace and security to the region. Camp Ziowani serves as the headquarters for logistics and support for the United Nations peacekeepers, and here stands the Fijian 100-man Guard of Honor to receive their Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Ratoipeli Nelatikau. It's been 11 months since His Excellency Ratoipeli Nelatikau bade farewell to the first batch of soldiers in Fiji to serve in UNDOF. Today, a total of 508 Fijian peacekeepers are again proudly creating history in participating in peacekeeping duties here in the Golan Heights. Out of the 500, 100 men and women of the Fiji Battalion displayed a Guard of Honor with pride, as His Excellency Ratoipeli Nelatikau, who also served as a peacekeeper himself, conducted the inspection.
Guard of Honor! Presidential salute! Present! Up!
His Excellency also met with the UNDOF Force Commander, Major General Iqbal Singh, who highlighted the good works conducted by the Fijian troops.
Fiji has done us proud. They came in when we needed help.
Last year, the United Nations looked to Fiji to provide the much-needed assistance in peacekeeping. And a month later, the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces was able to send its first batch of soldiers to UNDOF. Later, His Excellency and his entourage were given a short brief of the situation in the Golan Heights and disposition of troops to the mission area.
The blue line is the Alpha line. The red line is the Bravo line. We are bounded in the north by Lebanon and to the south, Jordan. We have Israel and Syria on both sides.
The task of UNDOF peacekeepers is to maintain the ceasefire between Israel and Syria, supervise the disengagement of the Israeli and Syrian forces, and supervise the areas of separation and limitation as provided in the May 1974 Agreement in Disengagement.
The Fiji Battalion occupies the northern area of separation, which is supervised by UNDOF to supervise the disengagement between Israel and Syria after the agreement in 1974. So in that sense, we are occupying the region from the summit of the Golan Heights right down to Quneitra, occupying 15 positions of UNDOF.
Amidst the troubles and existing threats, the Fijian troops have managed to put together a welcoming reminder of home.
And welcome again to Camp Zuani. The program for today is more Fiji Battle Fiji contingent centered.
Day 2 of the presidential visit to the Golan Heights began with a briefing by Major Avinesh Kumar on the Fiji contingent and their experience of the first 11 months with the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, or UNDOF.
Most of our troops have served in Lebanon, in the Sinai, in Iraq, in East Timor, and closer to home in Bougainville on those various peacekeeping missions. The average experience for the troops is about 5 years of peacekeeping experience, which is a very experienced unit. Even though we have new soldiers, they have quickly learned from the experience that the old soldiers have. But for a battalion to come in with 5 years of peacekeeping experience is something that makes work much more easier for us.
Since we arrived here, sir, most of the positions, the defensive position wasn't done up, or it has minor defensive structure in place. Since we've arrived, we've actually managed to increase the HESCO baskets around the positions for the perimeter, as well as developing other defensive positions as the sanga and fighting gun pits and so forth, sir, around the positions.
Within the 11 months of their presence here at Golan, the Fiji peacekeepers have surely added strength to the UNDOF operations by manning outposts, providing support services and logistics, and even gaining the trust of the locals.
When I started drawing up my plans on how we would operate here, the first thing that I drove into the minds of my troops is that we must win the hearts and minds of not only the local population, but both sides to the conflict. In that sense, the Fijian charisma played a very important role in winning that hearts and minds. The way we conduct ourselves, the way we care for people, and secondly, the other most important thing is our professionalism, our military professionalism in carrying out our duties. When they see those two combined, people respect us for that.
brief photo session, His Excellency the President was taken on a tour to Mount Bental, which is 1,170 meters above sea level. The road to the mountain has recently been repaved and tourist facilities have been renovated and rebuilt. In a region where much is inaccessible to tourists due to restriction on non-military traffic and poor roads, Mount Bental offers a rare and rewarding sight. From the overlook, one can see Mount Hermon, which is 3,000 meters above sea level. Several Druze villages, as well as a network of old bunkers and trenches. To the east lies Syria, with Damascus just 60 kilometers away from here. The valley towards Mount Hermon is also known to many locals and visitors to these parts as the Valley of Tears. Mount Bental was the site of the largest tank battles in history during the Yom Kippur War of 1973. In May 1974, a treaty was signed between Israeli and Syrian forces on the Golan Heights, finally establishing a ceasefire. UNDOF's mission to this region is to ensure that the agreement is honored. From here, His Excellency Ratu Epeli was shown some of the outposts manned by the Fijian contingent. Around December last year during winter, the entire landscape was covered with snow. Something new to the Fijian troops, but the Fijian battalion had to adapt to the change of environment.
It's very, very cold for us. Unlike back home, we experience tropical climate, but here during winter, snow is very, very challenging for us because we have never experienced snow in our previous missions. This is the first mission that we experienced snow.
Back at Camp Ziowani, we spoke to some of the Fijian troops.
Bula, my name is Lance Corporal Nanisia Namatalevu. I'm currently serving here in Golan Heights. Been here for the past 9 months now, got 2 more months to go. And I would just like to say big mbula vinaka to my family and friends back at home, especially to my parents in Tangalevu.
I want to say hello to my family and everybody back in island in Rutum and in Suva also.
Best part of peacekeeping operation is I get to work with other members of the force that I haven't met. I get to meet new people and especially work in an environment that is totally new and has totally different cultures.
It is a military pride to be able to provide peacekeeping duties for the United Nations here in the Golan Heights.
Not only are the Fijian peacekeepers maintaining a good reputation in these outposts of UNDOF and amongst the locals, at Camp Ziowani, the Fijian troops are engaged in additional tasks for the benefit of everyone.
As you can see, they are making a playground for the force, and also in addition to that, other construction works, engineering, demolition of buildings. We use these machines, and petrol route maintenance.
The Fijian medical team has been highly appreciated for their efforts and skills. We also visited the dining mess of Camp Ziowani and met with Warrant Officer Gaunda of the Fiji Batch.
My role as catering warrant officer in the UNDOF is to see the efficient catering services provided to all the soldiers who is deployed out here in this mission.
With the President's official tour to the Middle East coming to an end, we were shown the Fiji Battalion bunker.
Wai na kakana na yaya ni mode. Echuku ke delo moni rumungo. ya tungo warta gitu ni mentor ke mami juga na vida na ngauna ani ndona matawa me ke me chugo kina lo moningarango e vida na rumo ra chugo lo mongo mena me tori ke de na ke mami wili ena ne mami na mai wa chugo ke me ke me waraka chugo na da batale na tukuni mai ena vera ne mami velu taki era chugo me na operation room right ndona na rumo war tukuni na wono ni mote chugo na kana tutubi kana meteresi wasengan chugu tu masengan chugu chego me chugu angele go me no tal na rumungo dona taliboni total ngo doa chugu ngona wales chugu ke me na mai barro chugu kina me ke me na barro ngota chugu na beka erto na batulo wata chugu me erto na chugu me na operation room ne ma mi chuko sono ngona na dende sono ngona na laka ngarin do ngana chinga so na una ren ke me chuga ke me wa madawa wa tau chuga na ba bala da ka chuga boli ta chuga ne na kamba ke me chuga boli ke no.
As the day came to an end, the men and women of the Fiji Battalion gathered at the Bainimarama Hall to share a special session with their Commander-in-Chief, Ratuipeli Nelatikau, a time to reflect on their mission and at the same time creating an atmosphere of liveliness amidst a sea of troubles.
Isiria, kalau pada biji.
To our families and the people of Fiji, first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for your kind thoughts and prayers from our deployment till now. Life as a peacekeeper is a tough life, especially the separation and what the soldiers go through. One of my specific end states is to bring everybody home alive, and that was stressed to me as the battalion commander and contingent commander by our Prime Minister when he farewelled us. We are now into our 11th month, and some of us will be returning on the 12th month and the 13th month on the mission. And I will do everything in my powers, in my professional training, to bring everybody home happy and alive to meet you at the end of their duty.
Coming up in the next segment, we visit Sinai. From Golan Heights, His Excellency President Ratuipeli Nelatikau arrived at the El Gora Military Air Base in Sinai. The base is part of the Multinational Force and Observers Mission. Here, His Excellency was greeted and welcomed by the Force Commander of MFO, Brigadier General Dennis Thompson, and a 100-man Guard of Honor who welcomed their Commander-in-Chief under the scorching heat of the midday sun. After the military reception at the airbase, Ratoipeli was taken to Camp El Gora for a briefing session. The MFO mission in Sinai began on the 25th of April 1982 after a peace treaty between Israel and Egypt was signed on the 26th of March 1979. The MFO's mission is to observe, verify and report potential violations of the Treaty of Peace and agreed activities and facilitate military dialogue between Israel and Egypt in order to build trust, enhance transparency, and support enduring peace between Egypt and Israel in the Sinai Peninsula. Later, His Excellency was accorded a full Fijian traditional welcoming ceremony by members of the Fiji Battalion. In his speech to his fellow countrymen, His Excellency expressed his satisfaction of the Fiji Battalion's peace-building spirit and dedication.
I am indeed honored to be here today and to see that the men are in good spirits and carrying out their duty. But I have just reminded them that their loyalty is to the force commander of this force, that they'll carry out the command that you give them in the quickest possible time and in the best manner possible. No questions asked. And if they do that, that is what is expected of them, and it carries the blessings of all those in Fiji.
Later in the afternoon, the Force Command of the MFO, Brigadier General Dennis Thompson, hosted His Excellency to a dinner.
But what I really wanted to speak about tonight was the warrior culture that I witnessed today during the ceremony, and the warrior culture that I witness every day from the soldiers of Fiji Bat, and for which you should be enormously proud. You talked about loyalty today, Your Excellency, and loyalty is something that you can command. You can order someone to be loyal, but you cannot order someone to give respect. And the respect that your soldiers hold in the eyes of everyone in the MFO, and certainly in my eyes and in the eyes of Sergeant Major Bigger, is second to none. So you should be quite proud of the soldiers that serve here in the MFO. We certainly could not do the job we do without them.
To MFO and to the continuing success of MFO in the years to come.
The MFO.
Cheers.
Out of the 13 nations that contribute military personnel to the MFO mission, Fiji contributes the third largest number of military personnel, behind the United States and the Colombian Army.
We are basically divided into 3 rifle companies. One company is responsible for the northern part of our area of operation, and one company is at the southern part of our area of operation, and we have a base company together with the support and headquarters elements that we live here in North Camp.
His Excellency made it a point to meet and share a special moment with members of the Fiji Bat serving in Sinai. As the presidential tour to the Middle East comes to an end, we should never forget the challenges our brave men and women face in placing their lives in harm's way every day in order to protect civilians from the effects of war and danger.